All right, so here guys, I'm going to be showing you how to create a progressive web app and host it using Google Firebase. So to do this, you'll need to sign up for a Firebase account. To do this, simply go to firebase.google.com and sign up with your Gmail account. Great. Once you've signed up, you can go ahead and add a new project. So let's go right ahead and do that. Add a new project. Give this a project name. Right. Let's call that plus PWA. Select our country, wherever you're from, tap the terms, create project. I'm just going to let that create. And in the meanwhile, we have created a new folder and we have our Visual Studio Code open here. That's going to be the source folder for our progressive web app. All right, great. Good. So while this is, oh, it's finished loading already. Okay, great. Right. So what we need to do for this progressive web app, you'd want to have in the future, you want to have Cloud Firestore on it. So I'm just going to go ahead and do that. So the first thing we need to do is the Cloud Firestore beta, get started. Let's start it in test mode and click enable. And we're just going to let that run. And by the time we visit it again, it should be finished. Next step is that we go to beautify.js, beautifyjs.com. This is a, a material design component framework that's built on top of Vue.js, which is one of the best front end frameworks right now. So we're just going to click on get started. Then we're going to go down to here where it says PWA, and then we're just going to copy the markup here. Right now, keep in mind in order for this command to work, you need to have the command line installed for Vue.js. So assuming you have all of that installed already, let's go right ahead and get started. So let's just open up, close this here. Right, so we have our terminal up. Right, so view init vuetify.js/pwa, and we're just gonna let that run. Right, so you need to make sure that you have that node installed on your machine in order for this to work. And also you need to have the view command line. So just to get for you to get an idea. Right, so you'd have to install the view CLI in order for this to work. And you can easily Google how to do that um, somewhere around here. Hold on a second. Vue.js. Right, so it should be here on the installation page of Vue.js. Let's see, command line. Duh, 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 duh. Where is this? Command line. Okay, 1 second. Let me just get this somewhere here. All right, so it was right here. You need to do npm install -g at vue/cli in order to install that part of it. Right, so we're back recording. Good. So the last command that we ran was view init beautify.js/pwa. It's going to ask us if we want to generate the project in the current directory. We're just going to say yes. Download the template. Then it's going to ask us for the project name. We're just going to leave it as the folder name. All right, sorry, name cannot contain capital letters. No problem. We could just type that in. Right. Okay, we're just going to leave it the same as the name. The project name is shorter than the actual project short name. So we're just going to leave it as that. Description of VGS project. Yes. Author. Nobody, because no one cares. And right, so just gonna let that run. It's gonna take a couple of seconds. Right, so we're just gonna leave it for at runtime plus compiler. We don't need to have that change. Yes, we would like to have view router installed. ESLint, this is optional. You don't need it for Vue.js, but you can use it if you want to keep your JavaScript files very crisp. I don't think I'll be needing it for this project. Unit tests, no. Nightwatch, no. Attack components, no. Custom theme, yes. Okay, great. So we just installed, pulled it from the repository. Now we have to do an npm install and an npm run dev. So let's run an npm install, and we're just going to let that run for a couple seconds. All right, so the install worked. So just now we're going to run a local host environment. So npm run dev, and it's going to build some files. All right, so we see here that it has successfully run. So let's just open it up on our browser to take a look at what it looks like. All right, so this is the basic PWA app, that template that was made available by Vidify.js. Great, so it works great. Now we want to host it, so let's just go ahead and do so. Right, so what we'll need to do is just, I'm gonna press Control and see the console list, and then we're going to type npm run build, and we're just going to let that finish. Right, so what that basically did is create a environment for our production, and it was created in this folder called dist, and we have both the index.html and the server.js file. Now the next step is to actually get this hosted on Firebase. So let's just do a Firebase init. Right, so to do the Firebase init, just simply type in Firebase init. This is assuming you have already installed Firebase onto your system, onto your node package manager. So while that's running, I'm just going to go through that with you guys. All right, so with this command here, npm install -g Firebase tools, you'll be able to install all of the necessary tools. Um, when you run Firebase init for the first time, it will ask you to log into your Firebase account. So you need to keep that in mind. Right, so this is still running, so let's just give it a couple more moments. Right, so are you ready to proceed? You're currently outside the home directory. That's okay, we can proceed. Right, so now we select what we want in our Firebase. I'm just going to select everything: database, file stores, functions, hosting, and storage. To select, you just simply use the up and down arrows and the spacebar button to select. Then we hit enter, right, and then we select the project that it would be under. For this one, I believe I set it up as plus PWA. Yes, we'll use that. We'll just select the default settings. We'll use JavaScript. No. And for this option, you will need to install the dependencies with npm. So let's just select yes and let that run. Right, and after that is finished, it's going to ask us, what do you want to use as your public directory? We're going to select out this folder. Configure as a single page app, yes. No, we don't want to overwrite. Default setting, and that is it. And the final step is Firebase Deploy. Let's just run that. Great, now our app is deployed and it is on nicholaspwa.firebaseapp.com. Let's just open it up. All right, it should be up here in just 1 second. And here we are. And thanks for watching.